Hello dear Crusader Kings 3 players, I'm Athalas, welcome back to my channel. Most probably both you and I are waiting for this new DLC that added a ton of content, including various interesting characters to play with. Of course I'm talking about the Roads to Power. If you do not know, one of the mechanics that Roads to Power adds is the ability to play a landless adventure. If you have played Crusader Kings 2, you might have heard an ambitious mod called Rise to Power, which gives us a hint where Paradox got the inspiration. This mod allowed players to start as landless characters, either a bastard-born child of a ruler or a villager trying to survive in the merciless Middle Ages. Unlike the mod, however, the new DLC adds certain historical adventures to play rather than just selecting a random courtier of a ruler, which might be better in my sense of thinking. Those historical characters are known adventures from history, including today's characters that I'm planning to introduce you. As you know, the new DLC mainly focusing on Byzantine Empire, i.e. the Eastern Roman Empire, but I want to focus on their main antagonist, the Turks. Turks under the banner of Seljuks have invaded Persia during the 10th century, and from there they moved towards Anatolia under the leadership of Alparslan during 11th century. While Alparslan was reigning as the Sultan of Seljuks, there was a political figure who questioned his rights to the throne. This political figure was a distant cousin of Alparslan named Qutalmish. Qutalmish was a grandson of Seljuk Bey, and through his heritage he had claims on the throne of Seljuk Sultanate. However, these claims didn't win the throne for him. Alparslan succeeded in the Game of Thrones, and Qutalmish and his children were forced to leave into the Taurus Mountains. Of course, Alparslan didn't want to let his political enemies land to survive and tried to assassinate sons of Qutalmish, succeeding in 2 out of 4. Within this political paranoia, one of the children of Qutalmish, named Suleyman, gained the trust of Turkmen tribes living in the Taurus Mountains and captured Nicaea thanks to his new force of nomadic Turkmens. Only 3 years before his conquest of Nicaea, Alparslan was assassinated and a new sultan was crowned, Melikshah. Melikshah was happy with the progress and believed that their rival could be beneficial in the frontier and recognized his newly found state as the Sultanate of Rum. Today, it is debated that the Sultanate Rum, who was founded by Qutalmishoglu Suleyman Shah, was not a free state, but it was a subject to the Great Seljuk Empire until its fall in 1194. Thanks to the new DLC, now we can play as Qutalmishoglu Suleyman Shah in 1066 start. In 1066, he was a traveling Turkmen leader, living around the Taurus mountain range. By playing him, you can either press your claims against Seljuks, or you can climb the ladders to be the Sultan of the Rum. Before we continue with the second character, could you please consider subscribing to my channel? In this channel I'm creating content about strategy games, including RimWorld, Crusader Kings and Hearts of Iron, which means you can find many other interesting videos in the channel. Now, let's continue with the next one. The story of the next character is nothing new for you. In fact, I recorded a video talking about his life and adventures in my interesting characters to play in Persia video. This character might be the best example of a wandering adventurer in the Middle Ages. So it was a perfect addition to this new DLC, and I'm very happy to see him as a playable Landless character in 1066 start. He is no other person than Hasan Sabbah, the famous leader of the religious order of Hashashins, or with the commonly known name, the Order of Assassins. If you ever played Assassin's Creed, you probably played as one of the followers of Hasan Sabbah and committed various assassinations throughout the Middle East. Since I already told this story, I'm not going to delve deep in the history of assassins and Hasan Sabbah, but you can find his story by clicking the link that will appear above. If you want to play this notorious character and commit innumerable crimes, you can find him in 1066 start wandering in Persia. By playing him, you can spread his way of religion while eliminating every political or religious rivals thanks to his excellent learning and intrigue. Today's last character comes from a very distant location and age from the former two. This adventurer comes from the north, a Viking known with the name Rollo the Walker. Rollo was a 9th century Viking from either Norway or Denmark, who famously invaded northern France and established there a Scandinavian colony. Similarly to the other Vikings from that age, there are not many contemporary sources recorded Rollo's adventures. If you wish to learn more about the other Vikings that I talked about, you can click the link above to go to my video about the Vikings. But let's continue with Rollo's adventures now. The first mention of Rollo comes from the year 885, where he and his fellow Vikings lay siege to Paris. However, sieging a city does not mean conquering it, and Rollo was defeated by King Odo of West Francia. This event stopped him for a while, but didn't move his gaze from the French territories. Years after his preparations, he attacked France once again, and defeated by Robert of France, the brother of previously mentioned Odo. These failed raiding events forced him to settle down in the north of France, near the French frontier. There, he accepted Christianity and got baptized, taking the name Robert. During his reign as a duke, he married with a French princess Gisela and became the protectors of the northern France, named as Normans of Seine. Normans of Seine ruled those lands for hundreds of years following the Viking Age. They assimilated French culture and the duchy was named after them as Normandy. Rollo's children became the rulers of Normandy until 12th century, and they invaded England under the leadership of great-great-great-grandson of Rollo, William the Conqueror. Even though House of Normandy was erased from history after losing English throne and Normandy, their legitimate lines are still present in Britain. If you want to play as this great traveler, you can find him in 867 start around the northern Scandinavia. In the game, his name is Rolf of Normandy, which is the original, non-Latinized version of the name Rollo. From there, you can raid French territories or sail across the Northern Sea to claim English throne years before Rollo's descendants did. And this was the end of the video. I hope you all liked it and got some inspiration to try those new characters in the game. I think they are very interesting historical figures who did not hold any holding in the pretty few historical setups of the game. Thanks to this new DLC, we have many new characters and have the chance to play them and migrate around Europe, Asia and North Africa. Lastly, I'd like to read your comments about those characters and Landless play in general, therefore do not hesitate to share them down below. For now, goodbye.